Hi, this is Joe again with another review. For the sake of this video, I know we're a few days late, but for the sake of this video, I'm going to be discussing the 2023 Macy's Thanksgiving Day Parade, which is the 97th parade in its history, and in 3 years, in 2026, it'll be the 100th parade. Now, technically, should have been 100 parades already, but because they didn't have a parade for a couple of years back in the 1940s because of World War II, that's right, they're going to have the 100th parade until the year 2026. But focusing, of course, on this year's parade, and for the first time ever, the parade was actually, on these NBC's coverage of the parade, was actually 3.5 hours, which is the longest they ever had, because for a time immemorial, it was 3 hours. From 9 a.m. to 12 a.m. Eastern time on NBC, and also the same thing on CBS. But CBS used to show the parade in Detroit, the parade in Philly, and they used to show a little bit of the Macy's parade because they didn't have the exclusive rights. Now they're showing the whole parade, on 6th Avenue by the New York Hilton on CBS's coverage. But NBC has the rights for the whole Macy's parade. And it was 3.5 hours, which was, like I said, the longest time ever. Because so that way they can have more of the parade in there. But usually they did it a little bit differently. Not only that it started a half hour earlier, but also they had some Broadway acts during the parade. When the parade gets to Herald Square and in front of Macy's, or at least the 34th Street side of Macy's. There's another change which in recent years I didn't like. I think about it was directly in front of Macy's on the Broadway side, which is the main entrance, and not on the 34th Street side. The reason for that change in the recent years is because of the last 10 years or so, is because of the fact of the pedestrian walkways that's in front of Macy's on the Broadway side and in Times Square. So because of that, they have the concrete barricades up. They don't want to keep moving it every year for the parade. So they kind of shifted the parade a little bit. What it means is instead the way the parade was, as it come down Central Park West, starting at West 77th Street, go around Columbus Circle, goes down Broadway, through Times Square, and then eventually at Macy's. You go straight down Broadway, you go through Times Square, and then eventually we hit Macy's at 34th Street and Broadway. And that's where, at 34th Street and Broadway, that's where all the cameras were on the Broadway side of Macy's. And that's where all the acts were, and the Broadway acts at the first hour of the parade coverage. And then the next 2 hours was the parade itself. We'll all stop in front of Macy's and then turn the corner and go up 34th Street. But as soon as they turn the corner, they stop covering that particular float or balloon or marching band or whatever the case is. But now because of pedestrian walkways in Manhattan, everything comes up 6th Avenue, instead of Broadway, up 6th Avenue, which is also crosses in front of Macy's, and then turns around 6th Avenue, makes a big turn at 6th Avenue to Macy's, because Broadway is here, there's a little park, and then there's 6th Avenue. That's how it's almost like a cross, almost like an X almost. Not just in Times Square, but from Herald Square as well. And directly in front of Macy's, I should say. But for the 2022 parade, 2023 parade, there's not much I'm going to say comment on it, because I did like the parade. I thought it was very positive, except for one moment that's very early on in the parade. And if any of you have recorded on the DVRs or whatever, you'll see what I'm talking about. And it happens very early on in the parade. It actually was the 4th float in the parade, which happens within the first 25 minutes when the parade comes to Herald Square. So it was like just before 10 o'clock, New York time, almost an hour and a half into the parade, where you see an idiot, I have to say it, an idiot holding a Palestinian flag on one of the floats. And the float was, it was supposed to be a homage to the American Indians and the American Indian culture, or should I say Native Americans. And there was a guy in the background holding a Palestinian flag. Well, first of all, I want to say right now, there's no such thing as Palestine. There's no such thing as Palestinian people or anything else. It's all Israel. Okay? And there never was a Palestine. There's something that the Arabs came up with, and something that the liberal media has come up with, because most people in the media are anti-Semitic and anti-Israel. True, they're Jewish. There have been Jewish reporters. There always will be, but I'm talking with the ones who work for the AP, UPI, and the ABC, CBS, and NBC here in the United States. They all come up with Palestine. There is no Palestine. Okay, go to the JTF.org and you see what I'm talking about. But for the fourth float in the parade, I think the first float was the top turkey float. Then you had the peanuts float. There was another one after that. I forgot what was the one after the peanuts float, and then the one after that. So it actually was the fourth float in the parade. And you had the American Indians all waving, at the cameras and the crowd. And there's this one guy holding up the flag, holding up the Palestinian flag, and almost right away NBC cut away from it. But then they showed it at least 2 or 3 more times after that. And one time was really long, and the guy knew what the camera was because they held up the flag. And so kind of out of protest. I know I should have been prepared for this, but I know I have a flag around here somewhere. There's our protest out of that. Here you go. This is for you, Macy's. Okay? I'm holding an Israeli flag just for you, Macy's. Okay? So, fuck you, Macy's. Alright? And fuck you to the guy, excuse my language, folks. Fuck you to the guy who's holding the Palestinian flag. Because I stand for Israel. Alright? So that's for that. But for the parade itself, except for that one moment, which to me ruined the parade. For me, the parade itself was very, very good. The floats were great. The acts were terrific. And you have to wait about 3 hours and 20 minutes almost, about 3 hours and 15 minutes to see Cher. Because the whole morning, the whole parade for over 3 hours were hyping Cher. And the reason why Cher was there, not only because she was, she's an icon and everything, not disparaging Cher at all, right? Except that she's an extreme liberal, like most people, most entertainers are. She threatened if Trump gets re-elected, she'll move off the plan. Move now. Why wait till after the after the 2024 election? Leave now. Okay. I mean, I have respect for Cher, respect for her talent. I like her as an actress, and she's not bad to. I mean, even though she's in her 70s now, I can't believe she's in her 70s right now. I do have respect for her talent. I do like some of her movies, especially her earlier movies. She hasn't done one in a long. She hasn't done a movie in a long time. I do respect for her talent, her singing ability, and her musical and acting talent. But once in a while, she says something stupid, and it kind of messes up the whole damn thing. Same thing with Macy's with the this Palestinian guy holding the Palestinian flag, ruined the whole parade. But as the parade itself, the 2023 parade, there's not much. I can't believe it's been over 9 minutes on this. That it was a very good parade. It was very positive. But the thing that bothered me was, and I'm going back to the Palestinian thing, but the commentators, Hoda Kotb and Stephen Guthrie from the Today Show, plus Al Roker, didn't address it. Didn't even mention it. Didn't even, as soon as you saw the flag, the two of them shut up. But to get Stephen Guthrie and Hoda Kotb to shut up, it takes a miracle for these two ladies to shut up. But to have they have this happen, and not to comment on it. I mean, it's really sad, and they didn't even apologize to all the Jewish viewers or the people of Israel that have been seeing the parade online. That they made no references to it whatsoever. They didn't even apologize for it. They made for it, which was totally outrageous for the rest of the parade. And said, "Oh, we'd like to apologize for the guy holding the Palestinian flag." I'm telling you now, if the guy did what I just did a couple minutes ago, holding the Israeli flag, they'll be apologized. Believe me, they'll be apologizing for it. NBC, Macy's, will all be apologizing for somebody holding an Israeli flag. But since it's a terrorist flag, that's okay. So that kind of, I know I'm going on this rant here about it, but it's true. It's quite sad that this had happened in the parade. As a matter of fact, during the parade itself, on like in the 50s, people actually protested during the parade route, not down by where Macy's was, but in the middle of the parade route, and you didn't see it on TV except on the news. That's where the protests were. But yeah, it was on the news. The protests. As if you happen to get any local news with all the stupid football games on, which is another story. But sorry about that. I mean, this is going on almost every day with avalanches and stuff. But the parade, like I said, the parade itself, the acts were good. The thing that took a long time was that not all the Broadway, because usually what NBC used to do was the first hour was just the Broadway shows, and then for the next 2 hours we would show the parade. But this year, because they extended it, they did have a couple of Broadway, like about 2 or 3 Broadway acts, and then they had 2 or 3 Broadway acts during the parade itself. I mean, when the parade got to Macy's, stop the parade and do an act for one of the Broadway shows, which is not something that they normally would. I think this was like really the first time they actually did that. As far as I remember, this was like the first time they did that. But regardless, I thought that they did a good job of moving the parade along, despite the fact of the one idiot on the floor with the flag, plus other protests. They did move the parade along, and it did go a lot faster, and did move faster, even though it was 3.5 hours long, a half hour longer than normal. But it did move along further. I can understand if they extended the parade longer for the 100th parade, because that was a big deal. I guess they want to do it a couple of years earlier to see how it goes, if they get any positive responses for it. But it all got ruined because of the one idiot with the flag. And now I'll keep going back to it. I'm sorry I keep going back to it. But, because that really bothered me. And I know it took me a few days to do this review. But, and I just want to calm myself down. It took me a couple of days to calm down because I was that angry. As a matter of fact, I actually did go to Macy's in Howard Square on Saturday. And I was tempted to carry an Israeli flag and walk around inside the store because of what happened during the parade. I was that angry about it. I was going to carry an Israeli flag, inside Macy's to protest this guy in the parade. So this is my review of the 2023 Thanksgiving Day Parade. Please click on the video. Please rate it. Please subscribe to my channel. Please forward this video onto your Facebook pages. You can check out all my reviews and on my YouTube channel at rallyc.com. There's all WDY. rallyc.com. There's a homepage to the Rally Reviewer, Christy Moore, and please check out all of his videos on his website. Thanks for watching. Catch you next time.